The fact that at least one day a year we take the opportunity to laugh at ourselves, and even in difficult times in Soros, that we are able to smile, take a step back, and really take a larger look at life, to step back and to laugh, and then to move forward.
Welcome to Exploring Judaism's podcast, Holiday Bites. We're talking about Purim. I'm delighted to be talking to my friend and my colleague, Rabbi Hal Rudin-Luria. Welcome to the show. Why don't you start off by introducing yourself to us?
It's my pleasure to be here with you. Thank you to Rabbi Marquise for all that you're doing for our movement and for the Jewish people. I'm Rabbi Hal Rudin-Luria. I'm the senior rabbi at B'nai Yeshurun congregation in Pepper, which is in the east suburbs of Cleveland. And I've been here in Cleveland for more than 20 years.
Why don't we start by having you share what you feel the message of Purim is?
Purim really is among my favorite holidays in the Jewish calendar. Some years it's even my favorite holiday. And it is more than just a classic story, more than a story of morality. There is a question of its historicity, which we might get into later. But it is a story which is, of course, a story about Jewish survival in difficult times, a story of Jewish victory, a story of hope, a story of miracles, a story of what is hidden and what is dark and is revealed as light. And before we get to the specifics, I had a Jew by choice, a conversion student who was Chinese. And she told me as we were working that the things she loved most about Judaism was Purim. The fact that at least one day a year we take the opportunity to laugh at ourselves, and even in difficult times in Soros, that we are able to smile, take a step back, and really take a larger look at life, to step back and to laugh, and then to move forward. And she said in her Chinese culture and Chinese tradition of growing up, everything was so serious, you were never allowed to laugh at yourself and your people. And I think given all that has happened to our people and is still happening to our people, the opportunity to step back and just smile, to be grateful for all that we have, and even to be able to laugh is a very important aspect to what Purim is.
How might someone engage in Purim this year in a new or special way?
There are always new ways to engage in our holidays. Of course, Purim's story focuses on an event that happened thousands of years ago in Shushan, Persia, which today is in Iran. We can't go there right now. We probably don't even want to go there right now. But there are still new commentaries. So, of course, the first new way to engage in Purim is to study and read and make and find new commentaries. Another way is, of course, when we say evil Haman name, we use a grogger, and there are different ways of noisemakers that we can use. Actually, I brought a little show and tell today, which is, this is a handmade wooden grogger. It's actually, I consider it the largest grogger in the world. You can see it's almost larger than my hand, and finding new ways to wipe and blot out Haman's name. So whether you bring boxes of pasta that you'll then donate when you read it, and therefore do the mitzvah of feeding the hungry. Another new way, of course, is to find some new foods that are connected to it, or perhaps Persian foods, and highlighting the Persian tradition as part of the celebration of Purim.
Who do you think is the most compelling character in the Megillah, in the story?
Of course, it has to be Esther. And not only do we read Megillat Esther, and here we're going to do another show. I got my show and tells ready for you. I brought my Megillah for you. It's our synagogue's Megillah, our synagogue scroll. But Esther, of course, her Hebrew name was Hadassah. Esther is told at the beginning of the story when she becomes queen through the beauty contest and chosen for her beauty that she is not supposed to identify herself as Jewish. And, perhaps getting to your other question about what's different this year at a time where we are now, being Jewish is not so easy or even perhaps safe to identify ourselves publicly as Jewish. So it's an interesting question of how that story really applies to us at this moment with everything happening, and to have Jewish pride and where this story integrates that. But of course, as the story evolves and wicked Haman with the king's seal declares the destruction and the attack and the annihilation of the Jewish people, and that Esther is alerted to this plan. And when Mordecai tells her that perhaps there was a reason why you were put into the position to be queen, and Esther steps up. Esther takes a risks it all, to go before King Ahasuerus, to stand up for her people and ask for her people to be saved. Esther, of course, is the heroine of the story. She risks it all with the help of the people. She asks for help. She asks for others to stand with her and to fast. She asks the entire community to fast, so that she knows that there are other people that are on her side, other people that are standing with her, perhaps some vocally and some silently, and that she is not afraid to say that she's Jewish, and she needs the help from other allies. She needs the help from others who will stand with her, Jewish and non-Jewish, to stand with our people and to be strong. And of course, she is smart, beautiful, brave, go through all those qualities. Who doesn't want to be Esther?
Shifting to something a little lighter, perhaps, is what's your favorite flavor of Hamentashen or Oznei Haman, and why is that?
Of course, they're all the classics. Here at B'nai Yeshurun, I'm not sure why, but poppy seed is a big favorite. And even prune. I don't know, but somehow the prunes are always left over after the end of the Megillah reading. I'm a traditionalist. I like apricot and strawberry, but having said that, caramel is my favorite, with a little bit of marshmallow, a little bit of fluff.
I love that. What is something that you wish people knew about Purim?
Purim is obviously all about fun. We have carnivals. There's a little bit of alcohol, perhaps. There's coffee bars and karaoke. And every year at our synagogue, we do something a little bit different. We're bringing an a cappella group this week to sort of help bring up the hype. And we're doing like a silent dance party for our teens. And there's always something fun. But really, this Purim, which is said to be one of the only holidays that's going to be celebrated after the Messiah comes, Purim is really what it means quintessentially to be Jewish. It means, even in difficult times, to always have hope that there are miracles, but that also miracles shouldn't just be waited for. We shouldn't just wait for a miracle, that we also have to take life into our own hands, to stand up and to raise our voice so that we can not only make our lives better, make other lives better. Purim means lottery, right? Purim itself is a gamble. And the story itself has a lot of fun playing off of each other. It's considered a farce. It's considered a political satire. As we know, politics aren't easy right now, and they're going to probably even get harder for us with the polarization. And right now, if you're watching the video in the year we're filming it, with upcoming elections, and there's different ways to look at what's happening in our world, in our society, as we're gearing up for the upcoming elections. And we can look at the entire Purim story as a political farce about what type of leaders we want, what type of leaders are the best leaders to guide us, what are the Jewish values that we identify and are most important, the strongest values that we want in a leader for a non-Jewish country like Persia or like America.
Thank you so much for your wisdom and your time. Thanks for coming on to the show.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Marquez.